Listen up, because if you're grinding through marathon training with a body that feels stiff or heavy or constantly aching, you're not building endurance. You are quietly breaking down. You're pushing hard on a foundation that is already cracked. Years of desk work, stress, and wear and tear have just disconnected you from the way your body was actually built to move. So when you stack mileage on top of that, inevitably old injuries are going to flare up, recovery is going to tank, and your runs are going to feel like a fight. But I've helped hundreds of desk bound athletes and even world class professional athletes fix this from the ground up. So, in this video, I'm going to show you how to rebuild the foundation that your marathon prep actually needs so you can run smoother, recover faster, and perform without breaking down. All right, let me guess. Your marathon prep looks something like this. You downloaded a plan off of Google. Maybe you're following a run club schedule, or maybe an app like Nike Run Club or Strava, or maybe you're even taking in some advice from a friend who ran Boston one time and swears on what worked for him. And I get it. You're busy, you're driven, and you just want a clear path to success so that you can check the boxes, stay disciplined, and make it to race day without falling apart. But here's the problem: those plans aren't built around you. They don't know your injury history. They don't know that you've got a spine that's been locked up from hours at a desk. They don't know how your body actually moves under load. So, what happens is that you stick to the schedule, but every step just reinforces the same dysfunction. Your joints take the hit, your progress stalls, and you're wondering, am I just getting older? No, you're not. And you're not broken either. Your blueprint is. And that's exactly what I'm here to help you fix. And look, I get why you'd follow one of those programs. You want structure, you want some accountability, something that keeps you progressing. But the part that nobody tells you about those is that they assume your body is already ready to handle all the mileage. They skip right past the part where you check if your foundation is actually even stable. So, a quick assessment that I do with a lot of my clients is to have them stand tall, take a full exhale, and if you feel your lower back tightening up, or it feels like it's doing all the work instead of the deeper parts of your core, then your core isn't really stabilizing properly, and your spine is going to be compensating rep after rep and mile after mile. And that's not just inefficient, it's how you end up with compressed joints and nagging injuries and a body that just feels more beat up after every run. So that's why the first step I take with every one of my clients, pro or beginner, is assessing how their body moves. So that means looking at their injury history, the weak links in their chain, their movement patterns, all of it. Because if your foundation isn't solid, no amount of mileage or fancy shoes or gear is going to save you. You don't build a house on soft sand, guys, and you sure as hell don't train for a marathon on a foundation that is already breaking down. So that's why the first step is always to get a comprehensive assessment of your body and your movement. And guys, I know if you're watching this, you're intelligent, and it's probably common sense to you that you should assess your foundation before you go ahead and try and build performance on top. But it never ceases to amaze me how many professionals, online fitness pain gurus that are out there who just throw all these cookie cutter exercises at people's problems and never take the time to actually see how their joints are positioned, how their muscles are firing, and overall how the body is moving. So, naturally, once you have figured out those gaps in your foundation, then you need to work on them. So you're going to do that with specific exercises that are targeted for your exact imbalances, and you're going to work through those, fill the gaps in your chain, and you're going to create the foundation necessary to actually accept that marathon training the right way without breaking down. The next thing I recommend is speed work. And it really doesn't have to be anything crazy. You don't have to go all out. Just go barefoot on some grass if you've got a nice field and good enough weather, and you're gonna run about 100 meters at 70%. And then over the course of a few reps, you're gonna build up to 80, even 90% if you're feeling up to it. And if you have to use a treadmill, just go a little faster than you normally would. The goal, guys, is to feel smooth and connected, have your rib cage stacked on top of the pelvis, spine long, and just move your body as one fluid connected piece. When you run like that, everything feels easier. And by the way, if you want a full video that breaks down running cues that literally anybody can implement immediately if they want to run lighter and more effortlessly, I'll link that video at the end of this one. All right, last recommendation is to layer in some targeted running drills. So these are basically going to mimic positions that you're actually going to hit in running, but they're going to slow them down enough so that you can actually master the fine details before you put it into motion. So I have something around the screen here showing examples of what I mean, but the idea isn't to just activate your glutes or get a little stretch. It's to actually make sure that your body is firing all of your muscles together in the right sequence between your calves, your hamstrings, your glutes, all of them working together to effortlessly propel you forward. And that's what's going to give you the right power and longevity. All right, guys, if it looks like I got a fresh cut mid video, it's because I did. Yesterday, my mic died on me while I was filming this exact part, and I just didn't catch it until today. So here we are. But, anyways, the last thing I want to talk to you about today, and honestly, the most underrated part of marathon prep, is your breathing. Because most runners are overly focused on conditioning, but they never actually train how they breathe. Because think about it like this: if you're mouth breathing and your breath is just stuck up in your chest and your neck, then your body just thinks it's in survival mode. You're going to be stuck in fight or flight, your stride is going to tighten up, and your recovery is going to slow down, and then every mile is just going to feel way harder than it needs to. And no, I'm not talking about the whole in through the nose, out through the mouth bullshit. That's outdated and inefficient, and I'm going to show you what to do instead. So, first off, you're going to breathe solely through your nose, in and out, nice and smoothly and quietly, as if you had a feather under your nose and you didn't want to ruffle it. And then you're going to let that breath drop deep down into your abdomen at the depth of your lungs, and you're going to let it fill your torso 360 degrees all the way around. At first, while you're trying to maintain this when you train, yeah, you might need to slow things down a little bit, but trust me, guys, this is how you build real endurance. You're going to recover faster, you're going to feel smoother and lighter, and most importantly, your body is going to be able to stay relaxed, so you're going to make it way easier to run efficiently and avoid injury. This is one of the biggest shifts that I made in my athletic journey and that all my clients do as well. And it just changes the game every single time. Ladies and gentlemen, those are the high level strategies and tactics that you need to implement if you're to go through your marathon prep totally injury free. But as you know, the best results come from the details. And that's why inside Mind Your Movement, we work hands on with you to fix pain at the root by rewiring how you move, how you breathe, and how your body performs holistically. None of this fluff or band-aid fix type shit, just a proven system that's built from working with elite athletes and professionals who just couldn't afford to waste time on broken methods. Every single protocol, from the recovery to the breathing to the movement, it's all tested under pressure and tailored specifically to you. So if you're ready to train hard and train smart, hit the link below, apply, and let's get to work. And if you're not quite ready yet, no problem. I've got another video coming up somewhere on the screen to help you clean up your running mechanics.